Welcome to Easy Learning.
Exercise number 31. If a book is really successful, the public may buy it in very large numbers. Sometimes we see figures showing that several hundred thousand copies of a book have been bought. It is of interest to ask, what does the public ask for in the books which it reads for pleasure? In this field, as with all other arts, there is the man or the woman who says, I do not know much about writing, but I do know what books I like to read. And if we may judge from the books which have been great successes, it seems safe to say that what the masses of the people ask for in their reading is a book which tells a good story about interesting people, a book with movement and life in it. There are always people ready to give the public what it asks for in such respects, and writers who wish to make money from their writing have been almost forced to write books of the kind which please the people who make up the largest market for their work. Now, a book written with this public in view may still be a good book, but very often it is not the book which the writer would have written had he been quite free to follow his own wishes. The form of book provided by many writers is the book which tells a clear story, which gives a picture of a number of men and women who, at the beginning of the book, are in one set of conditions and who move step by step throughout the book into a different and more pleasing set of conditions. Such a book gives the reader a sense of order. The people in these books act and think along certain lines, and it is only in details that the stories differ. But during recent years, the more thoughtful writers have been attempting a new form. It is said that the course which our lives take depends upon our personal thoughts, the thoughts which, if told at all, are told only to those nearest or dearest to us. It is in these personal thoughts that the writers are interested. The important thing, they say, is to set down the life which goes on in a man's mind, not so much the thoughts which result from the day to day happenings, but the long line of thoughts which makes up his real life. But both the old and the new form of book are subject to material considerations, and it is not possible for every event or every thought to be set down. All writers have to face this question of what to use and what to leave out. The writer of the book with a story uses those events or thoughts which help on the telling of his story. The wish of the writer of the new form of book is to give a complete picture of the minds of the people he is telling us about. So he makes his book or each part of his book cover only a short time and gives a complete picture of what is happening in the minds of the people during that time. This new form is not always pleasing to readers used only to the old form, as there are no clear steps in the story told, and there is nothing final at the end of the book. But while a reader may find pleasure in reading a book which shows for the 100th time that 2 and 2 make 4, it is doubtful if he reads through 3 or 400 pages for that purpose. Without doubt, he finds pleasure in the book line by line and page by page. The story is not a really necessary part of his pleasure in reading, and it is probably that with the development of the new form, the general reader may come to like it more. Full stop.